green, verde, ver. I don't know how to say it in other languages. I don't even know if it's gone live yet.
Just went live.
Fantastic. All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 130 for April. What's today? The 13th? I thought it was Friday the 13th, but today's the 13th and it's Thursday, so it's not. But anyway, that was a unnecessary tirade. Today we have Project Scorpio news. Obviously, some new stuff has come out, so we want to get into that. The Uncharted DLC, the standalone DLC, has been announced. The release date has been announced, and the price. We'll get into that because it's looking a little pricey. So we'll get into that a little bit. Talk about the spring sale, obviously. We'll talk about the Battlefront 2 trailer that was, I guess, just a teaser. So we're gonna get more in a couple days. Assassin, is that what it is?
Saturday.
We're gonna get even more info on this thing. Gonna be a different trailer, I guess. So we'll see that, and we'll talk about Black Ops 2 finally coming back with compatible. Talk about a few other things that I can't remember at the moment, but I'm sure I will when we get into it. So, the self-service refund. How can I not forget about that? We'll talk about that. That was announced yesterday, I think, and I'm sure Clowns has a few good things to say about that. So. Without further ado, let's introduce everyone. I'm in front of 217. We have making his 130th straight appearance, ZBCI Assassin. What's going on, bud?
Hi.
We've got Merc, Taylor, Zebra Fries. What's up?
Hello.
And we have Italian Clowns, last but not least.
Yo, ¿cómo está, paisanos?
Jesus Christ. All right. That's an intro. So, yeah, let's, get right into it. But before we do, I should, shout out our affiliates, which looks ugly because I resized it for the last podcast. Let's just put that right in here somewhere. Now that it officially looks ugly, I totally forgot that we resized it. Anyway, we get some affiliate links down in the description below. You can see, I think, let me see, we got Best Buy, GameStop, Microsoft, Amazon. We have a few other links. We'll get them in there for some other places that you can do your shopping and give us a little referral kickback. So just click on those links, buy whatever you want, obviously, whatever you desire or don't even need. You know, sometimes that happens to me. Best Buy, I buy stuff I absolutely do not need, but I still buy it. But buy whatever, and you don't have to buy what that links to. Just buy something, and we'll get some... we had some referral monies to do some giveaways and make the show a little bit better. So thank you, affiliates. So obviously we're going to get into the Scorpio stuff first. I think that's the biggest news of the week. I think a lot of people are anticipating, the release of the Scorpio now, given the stuff about last week with Digital Foundry, and now this week, Digital Foundry's got some more information, and Gamasutra. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know it's a play on Kamasutra, so I'll just go with Gamasutra. They had another article with an interview with Phil Spencer, which ended up being extremely lengthy, but very, very good. So if you haven't read that, go to Gamasutra.com, whatever, and read that. But any thoughts on this news? We got, I guess, FreeSync 2.0, Clowns, not 1.0, 2.0.
That's really good, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so this thing's definitely future-proofing. HDMI 2.1, not 2.0, 2.1. So, the Xbox One S has HDMI 2.0. I believe the PS4 Pro has 2.0 as well. And now Scorpio is going to have 2.1, which has not even been ratified as a spec yet, officially. So that is definitely future-proofing. And you're going to get a lot less frame jutter, potentially greater than 60 frames per second frame rates. So as soon as TVs come out for that, that's usually PC territory, with monitors. I'm using a 144 frames per second monitor right now, and it is just unbelievable. But not to brag or anything. But, yeah, so potentially that's coming to the living room. And, enhanced HDR support, that kind of thing. So... And, of course, the reveal of the press or the dev kit, which we are showing on screen now. So Anyone want to go and give your thoughts on this news, or if you even understand this news, or where are you guys at with this?
That LED thingamabob that's on the bottom of the console is kind of nice for the developers.
Yeah. So that LED, right, is just FPS. It's got I think it's got like a throughput monitor on it to see the throughput of the data that's coming through. I guess the dev kit is actually beefier in specs than the actual release model. So it's got a lot more memory and stuff like that. So they can like work on putting something out that's super strong and then like downscaling it to the to what they need to downscale it to and making it work. So that screen, I guess, is going to be extremely important for that. So yeah, like Sim just said in the YouTube chat, 24 gigs of RAM on it instead of 12. So they've got a lot more to play with, but you know that's easier to make something and keep downscaling it, and seeing on that front panel what they kind of need to do to get it just right for where Scorpio is going to be at when it releases. So front panel's good. Anybody else? What do you guys think? Taylor or Clowns? Anything?
Okay. Well, you know what? After these specs were revealed and more info, I was really excited. The dev kit really excites me the most. Like, I would really love to own one of those and be able to play retail games on them, even though they claim you can't. I hope that everybody can still turn their units into dev kits, man. Like, I think this is good stuff. This is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're going to continue that. I think, you know, I understand why you're saying that, because we know and have just talked about how, you know, 24 gigs of RAM, a slightly better graphics card, you know, so it looks like what we're going to get in retail is not going to be what other devs have. So you're kind of worried about, you know, is it going to be fragmented in terms of what people can dev on? But I don't know. I think when people are deving at home, they're obviously deving on, like, you know, indie scale. So I don't think it's going to matter as much. But yeah, I mean, definitely a concern. And I wonder if you do get your hands on one of these dev units and it can play retail copies, are you just going to have like a monster beyond monsters? I mean, 24 gigabytes of RAM is just absurd for a console. So just absolutely absurd. So we shall see. Taylor, what do you think? You saw this thing. It looks kind of like an Xbox One S. Does it? I know you're not as techie as we are, but does it excite you in any way?
Kinda. I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff, so I'm like the worst person to talk to about this.
No, see what you have to do. Like, so they didn't announce the price, which kind of sucks, and Gamasutra didn't get the price, and no one has the price yet. That's gonna be saved to E3.
Or the official name.
Or the official name, correct? Or the official name. So we're still calling it Scorpio. And it's going to kind of feel dirty not calling it Scorpio, right? It's kind of like that switch from the NX to the Switch. Like, what are we going to do? Some people are still going to call this thing the Scorpio, obviously. I think even the diehards are still going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, let me, can I come in and pre-order the Scorpio? And people are going to laugh at them. But nonetheless, no official name, no price. But Taylor, a person like you, I know you come on this podcast and you're like, oh, I don't have the money. But if we get the price soon, you can, you know, start making that savings, you know, every month, just chipping away at that 400 or 500 that it's going to be. So
yeah, I mean, I do have some money saved up right now.
Ooh.
Then I actually have 2 savings right now. One's for a cruise later this year.
Ooh, that's exciting.
But yeah, but I'll probably end up getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I would want to trade my Xbox One in, but I have the very pretty Halo one.
Right.
I don't want to get rid of that.
See, that's the thing. I think they're going to make it really, you know, I think they're going to make a push to have people trade in Xbox Ones, and I think they're going to offer, like, some really compelling trade-in deals. Now, if you think about a PlayStation, they don't really have their own stores, but Microsoft does. So I think Microsoft's store is going to have probably the best deal there is to trade in for this thing, offer a huge incentive, and then you're going to have people like you that has one of the custom consoles, and you're just like, do I want to go for it? But they're giving me like $200, you know, maybe I do. So it kind of sucks. I agree. It kind of sucks. But I don't know. Every time we see more stuff about this, I just feel like Microsoft is just hitting it. It's just good press after good press after good press from Microsoft lately, which is, I mean, a lot of us are Xbox gamers primarily, so I mean, it's a good thing. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like you said, Taylor, you're not the right person to ask. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily understand all this news that's coming out, and they're like, FreeSync, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what FreeSync is. There's that.
Yeah, so so FreeSync is kind of like a way to make it so there's less like screen tearing and stuttering. So like if you have a 60 FPS game and it is targeting 60, but you can't get 60 on the screen because of limitations in the hardware, like you'll get skipping, or like there'll be like, say you have one frame every 60th of a second, right? Because it's 60 FPS. So if sometimes a frame will stay on the screen for 2/60ths of a second, but with FreeSync, like it makes it so that's just absolutely impossible. So the frame pacing is 100% correct, so you'll never get screen tearing or like what they call frame jutter. Because even though it is 60 FPS technically, because you are getting 60 frames in every second, it's just that 2 of those frames can be the exact same. And then frame like screen tearing, like when you get the lines in the middle of the screen and you can obviously notice that there's something going wrong, that's when like half of the screen can catch up and half of it can't. So one half of the screen is like displaying the next frame while the other half is still lagging behind. So FreeSync will also like make it so that never happens again too. So that's kind of like the big news with it. That's why it's such a big deal. But
okay, that makes more sense now.
So, and then FreeSync 2, which Clowns is extremely excited about, versus FreeSync 1, is taking that like a step beyond, and you can include stuff like 4K, like HDR, and that stuff can be utilized with FreeSync, because currently on FreeSync 1 you can't have that stuff and use FreeSync. So you have to pick pretty picture, pretty colors, or no frame skipping, no frame tearing, no screen tearing. So
okay,
it is the bee's knees, as they would say.
As they would say, yes. But the important information about it, like, yeah, we got the dev kit. It looks a lot like an Xbox One S. I think people are like, oh, wow, it looks a lot like an Xbox One S. This is what it's going to look like. Xbox consoles are 90% accurate. I saw that floating around on Twitter. I mean, this is what we're going to get. 90% sure that this is exactly what we're going to get. People are excited about that. But I think what people should be excited about is that they're going to get a box that, like, the problems of today's Xbox Ones that are always mentioned by Digital Foundry are never going to be around anymore. Like the frame skipping thing, like the lower resolution, the fact that, you know, the screen tearing, stuff like that, you know, that stuff's gone. Like, with all of this stuff coming out, they're just future-proofing the hell out of this thing. The fact that they're including tech that isn't even in TVs yet, or hasn't even been ratified as a new standard, I think is a big deal.
This is definitely a smart move by Phil Spencer and the Xbox team. You know, I'm glad that Phil waited to put this out now, because I saw that they were thinking about something in 2016, and then they scrapped the idea, because it would have ended up just similar to the Pro. But, I mean, this was a smart move. Wait a little bit, wait for the tech to get better, leverage the vendors, make something really kick-ass, and put it out there. And this is what they did, man. This is like a home run, grand slam, win of the World Series right here.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. And the thing I'm just worried about is that they need to figure out a way to show this on streams, on TV, and I mean, no insult to you at all, Taylor, and I'm sorry if it comes off like this, but they need to be able to dumb it down to people that don't understand what this stuff is, because they're not gunning. They shouldn't be gunning for the tech audience. They should be gunning for everyone. You know, if they start gunning for just the tech audience, you're not converting people from PC over to Xbox like you are converting people from PlayStation over to Xbox. So they just need to, like, find a way to be able to show this and dumb it down, because currently, like, there's no way to show this on stream. There's no way to show this on TV. Like, unless you have one of these monitors and you're watching it on your own PC, like, you have to produce it on your own PC. Videos don't support it. Like, you can't show off this stuff on YouTube. Just doesn't work. So
right. No, I don't take offense to that, because a lot of the community is just like, I don't know what this means.
Right. They see FreeSync 2 and they're like, ooh, FreeSync 2, like what's out is FreeSync 1, so it's better. I mean, you know what I mean? Or like, ooh, it's HDMI 2.1.
Essentially.
Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, this is lit. Like, you have people saying that stuff. Like as Assassin would have said like a couple weeks ago on the podcast, a couple months ago at this point, about the Battlefield thing. Remember that, Assassin?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, when you were talking about the new maps, you were like, ooh, it's literally lit or whatever. No
Oh,
pun intended. But we're done or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Assassin. Like, talk to me because I know you're the most excited about Scorpio. You just got a huge bonus from a survey from GameStop that you're putting right toward your Scorpio fund. So, as somebody who's already super excited for Scorpio, does this stuff just make you more excited, or does this stuff just like, I've had enough of this already, just get this goddamn thing out, and I'm pissed about all these leaks and stuff before E3?
Well, I mean, any day I hear some positive Scorpio news gets me a little bit more hyped. I really just want to pre-order this thing so I don't accidentally delete my gift card that's in my email or spend my money on other games. So I just want this thing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people that are excited for the thing, I think this kind of builds the excitement. But if I were in your shoes, Assassin, and Xbox was life at this point, like you don't have a Switch, no PlayStation, no PC gaming, like I would just be getting like antsy as hell right now when I keep seeing all this stuff. Like, just give me the damn thing. Like, all this stuff is coming out in April, and the thing doesn't come out probably till November. So,
And we have to wait for June to see the official reveal.
the price, the actual
Yeah.
system, yeah. I might be seeing that in person, when I'm down in California for some big event, in June, Assassin. But I'll take lots of pictures and send them to you, so don't worry. May take video.
Are you going to the EA play?
Of course, yeah. I mean, the tickets don't come out until the 20th, so.
But you get to play Battlefront too. That's what I'm more excited for. And
Wow.
I hate you more.
Oh, if they let if they
Wow.
let you take video and pictures,
Jeez.
I'll go ahead and share it with you. Don't worry. So.
No.
Let me see in the chat really quick. So Sim says, yeah, the retail version won't have the LED screen. Obviously, yeah. I mean, the LED screen's kind of cool, but I mean, I don't know. It's not slick. It's not clean. The buttons won't have the LED screen, the buttons, and half the RAM. I'm expecting it to be smaller. So that's one thing we didn't talk about yet is the buttons. Now, I've been kind of vocal about this on Twitter. I think the buttons are ugly as shit. Like, I don't want those buttons on my console. I want the front to be smooth, slick. I don't want any protruding buttons, let alone whatever it is, like 5 of them on the thing. What do you guys think of those buttons on the front left? Like, what is the, why do those even need to be there?
Oh, maybe you're
Isn't that
bored.
only for the dev ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those buttons, like, I was like, okay. I was talking to people on Twitter. I was saying to them, there's no way. It's just for dev units, shortcut buttons, what have you. But then somebody pointed out to me in the render they're showing off. That render they're showing off where it splits the whole system into all of its separate parts or whatever, and you can see all the separate things and, like, layers. It has those buttons. Like, you can go back and look, and it has those buttons. So I'm getting worried that those buttons are there, and it's going to be ugly as shit. Like, I can't stand those buttons, man. Those are going backwards in design, I think.
Yeah, it just needs
I mean, it's
two
possible
buttons.
that they're just showing the dev kit model.
You mean in the render?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
That's just the most recent model that they have built up because they have to get those out first for devs.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I can't see any reality where it has those buttons because those are just ugly as shit. But if they have a good reason to have them, I mean, I'm open to anything. Some people I was talking to was like, media functions, play, pause, skip, whatever, if you're using a DVD player. And I said to them, I literally said, what is a Sega CD? Like, we're going backwards. That's like something on a CD player, not on, a game console or anything recent,
Yeah.
But Clowns, what do you think, bud? What do you think of the buttons?
I was never really fascinated by the buttons, so it didn't matter to me. I just like the specs inside the unit.
Mm-hmm. That is what it's about. And you know what? It's like a beautiful woman on an ugly face. You can always cover it with a bag. I mean, what? Did I say that? I'm kidding, Taylor. I love all.
What is wrong with
I
you?
love all women. No, I mean, I would never cover a console either because ventilation problems. But you get what I mean. It's just appearance. Like, you know, in the end. who cares?
4GwQ unfiltered.
Man, it was supposed to be a joke. I thought, you know,
Yeah.
I thought Taylor you'd find it funny, but I guess not. Sorry. All right. Anything more about the Scorpio thing? You got to read the article. The article. I mean, they're super dedicated to games and making things all in the same, you know, family. You know, Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox Scorpio. So you got to read the article. It gives some really good insight. I mean, we could be talking all day if we included the article in the discussion, but basically the take home is that Phil is committed to making this thing all one family, and you're not going to be left out if you have the old Xbox One. So don't, you know, I know people are kind of afraid of that, and I would be too. Like, this dev unit has 24 gigs of RAM. The Xbox One only has 5 or whatever, or 5 usable. So I understand why people are getting a little worried about this, but don't worry. Phil is for the gamers and for the game, so.
You know, like, I just have to go back to March 6th, 2016. You know, I thought that, to be honest with you, I really thought that Xbox was going to go as a service. I didn't really think that after the Xbox One S, they were really going to, you know, push something further. As badass as Scorpio is. And I was like, Phil, promise me that the Xbox isn't going anywhere. And he's like, I promise. And like a year later, damn, he slams us with this, and now I want one really bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, people are saying, you know, Phil doesn't want Xbox to continue. He just wants one ecosystem. He doesn't care about the box, right? He doesn't care, you know, about single-player games. Just wants multiplayer stuff. Just wants Xbox as a service. Well, if that were true, why would you release something like this? You know what I mean? Like, what? Yeah, you want the market share, but it's not like Scorpio is going to all of a sudden, you know, make up for like 20 million sales that PlayStation has a lead on you worldwide. Like, it's just not going to do that. So what's the point of releasing this box if you're not committed to the gaming division? It would make no sense. So if you were going to do that, you just port everything over to PC and call it a day. Because PC people spend money too. It's not just console gamers. So yeah, he's committed. He's committed. So, Assassin, anything? Any last mentions on this?
Yeah, you're missing the best feature. They're stackable.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to the next topic.
Well, they are. I mean, no vent on the top.
Okay,
Yeah, they didn't make that for the dev kits.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, oh, you know, there's no vent on the top anymore, guys. We can get like 3 of these things and stack them all on top of each other. Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
They did that because they would walk into dev rooms and they would have like these weird shelving units
Right,
built for the Xboxes.
right.
You know, Assassin,
They're
I
like,
hear
let's
that
just make it easy.
I hear that Baconators are stackable too.
That would be very fat if you had more than one Baconator in one sitting. Assassin, have you done that, by the way?
No. Do I look like a fat ass?
We only see your head every week, so
Wow.
I don't know what's below that chin, bro.
Hold on. Let's add this in. 4GwQ unfiltered.
Yes, it is an unfiltered episode tonight. We're sorry if we offended anyone. We're just joking around. But I mean, is that kind of like obvious that if you eat more than one Baconator in one sitting, that's probably kind of fat? I mean,
Well, it depends. Are you eating normal Baconator? Are you eating the son of the
the
Baconator?
sun, yes, the sun.
It's, you know, a little bit smaller.
That's true.
Well, I think when I was a kid, I went to Burger King for a birthday party and I ate like a Whopper Jr. with a Whopper and then a Whopper Jr.
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt really sick afterwards, but it tasted so good at the time.
I'm sure you did. Wow.
It's turned into the fast food podcast.
Yeah, what's better, Wendy's or no? Actually, just one more thing.
Wendy's.
One more thing about fast food. You guys see that tweet that I retweeted of that guy? I know it's making huge news. That guy that's looking to get a year supply of chicken
Yeah.
nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
Give him his
I
nuggets.
retweeted it. Give him his nuggets.
Dude, apparently my girlfriend was showing me this video about the Ellen show, and she's upset because she's afraid that she's going to lose the record of the most retweeted tweet because she has it right now for the Oscars thing. So she's actually telling people like on her Twitter or whatever and on her show that if you retweet his, retweet hers too, so he can get his goal, but she doesn't lose her record. So I thought that was really funny. But I hope that guy gets his. What? What did you say?
I said I am Ellen.
Yes. No, I hope he gets that goal. If he does, I want to see like a YouTube series of eating nuggets every single day. And what does that mean? Does that mean 1 order of nuggets a day, or does that mean like
It's a year supply, as many as he can eat in a year.
Yeah, but sometimes they cap you off for some things like that.
That's stupid.
You know from experience? What have you got a year's supply from?
No, but it's like sometimes it's in small writing, like your supply pizza, it's like 2 pizzas a month or something.
Can you imagine the negative press that get? This guy gets 18 million retweets, like blows away the record. And they're like, yeah, we said year supply, but that meant like 110 piece a day. You know what I mean?
And it's
And
still
after
a
a
good
while,
amount.
you would only want 110 piece a day.
Well,
You know,
yeah, maybe.
since you
probably.
guys just said that, I just decided I would message Phil on Xbox on Twitter and ask him how many for a free Scorpio. How many retweets for a free Scorpio?
Try it. He'll probably think it's funny. I think you should, actually.
I did. I
Nice.
posted it.
Nice.
Can I get the free Scorpio if you get it?
Oh, we can share it. We can send it to each other.
Send it back and forth.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Share
Cut
it.
it in
Perfect.
half. Just send one half to Taylor. You keep the other half.
You can stack the halves, right, Assassin?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. More Xbox news before we get to the Battlefront thing, because this news kind of broke yesterday, or I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was definitely yesterday. The self-service refunds thing. I think this is a huge deal, and I will. Before we get Assassin's opinion on this, I do want to go to Clowns so he can brush his shoulders off a little bit about his prediction on this program. So, Clowns, please go ahead.
You know, it was way back in the day because I've had issues where I bought games and they didn't, appear to be what they seemed, kind of like a No Man's Sky at the time. And I used to complain all the time, and I'm like, Inferno, Assassin, we should be able to get refunds. Oh, and you guys thought about it, and you're like, well, yeah, but will probably never happen. And then, we see Steam do it, and I bring it up again. I'm like, oh, we should get refunds, blah, blah, blah. And then, back during the episode when we talked about the surveys and getting a little bit of money back for the games, I even said back then, instead of getting a little money back for the games, if we sell them back, if we didn't like the game, why don't we just get a full refund if it's played less than 48 hours? 2 hours in, I said less than 2 hours in, but purchased or played in the last 48 hours. And you guys were like, yeah, that could work, but we don't think it's going to happen. And he did even better than what I suggested. He did 14 days. Purchase within 14 days, better than within 48 hours. I mean, this is big news. This is huge. This changes the game. Who the hell needs GameFly or who the hell needs GameStop anymore with used discs? This is it right here. This is the whole shebang. This is a game changer. I'm really excited.
Yeah, because you're right, Clowns. Like, a lot of people have those rental things to see if they actually like the game. And with GameFly, like, you got people who will get the disc and they'll like try to send it back as quickly as possible if they like it. If they don't like it, or if they like it, they'll send it back. And if they like it, they'll buy it. But if they don't like it, they want to get the next thing right away. They want to maximize how many games they can play. And this, gives you a little bit of freedom to do that digitally. You don't even have to get it from your couch. And I would say, a lot of games you'll know if you like in 2 hours. I know a lot of games, Andromeda, for instance, doesn't, from a lot of people, I'm not far enough to say, but I've heard from a lot of people that you have to get, 5-6 hours into the game before it gets really, really good. I mean, Clowns, you said on this program that it was like a soap opera for the first few hours, and then after that it got extremely good. But so for those people, you're not gonna get much out of this refund thing. But a lot of games in 2 hours you're gonna know, you're gonna know, and you can buy stuff on sale. The 14-day thing is a big deal, I think, because you can buy stuff on sale when it's on sale and then wait 10 days and try it, or wait 14 days. You don't have to feel like you have to try it right away, you know. So I think it's pretty good. Assassin or Taylor on this thing?
You also have to look at the negative. It says across all accounts. So if you're game sharing, just say Mass Effect and Genre, Clowns what's an hour, I'll put it the same hour at the same time. We're over 2 hours. So you can't do a refund.
This is true. This is true across all accounts, and we didn't even say that it doesn't include DLC season passes or add-ons or any of that stuff. And those are sometimes the hardest choices to make. A lot of people are like, oh, I bought the base game. Do I want to spend that extra 30, that extra 50 sometimes for a season pass? Do I want to buy that add-on that looks cool, but am I going to get a lot of game time out of a $14.99 add-on that only adds, potentially a couple hours depending on how you play? And that's not even included. So, and some add-ons change the game completely. Like look at, Dead Rising 3 back in the day at E3. They announced that super mega Dead Rising arcade add-on DLC thing that completely changed the game. And some people were like, "Oh, I'm kind of interested in that," but it's not really like Dead Rising. So maybe I should just hold off. So for this, you can't even try that. So,
Nope.
So I don't know. Taylor, what do you think? What do you think about all this?
I think it's really interesting, especially because it just kind of shows that Microsoft listens to their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have been asking for this for a long time.
Yep.
And now they're finally implementing it.
Yep.
I mean, it shows that Microsoft does listen and that they want to do right by their fans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, I think it's really awesome because, especially like with The Division, I had a lot of friends who bought it digitally, and they were like, I hate this. They were like, I can't even get my money back for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, games like that, like where the gameplay is essentially, I mean, yeah, you level up weapons, you face harder enemies, lather,
It's just
rinse,
repetitive.
repeat. But yeah, stuff like that. Destiny, if this were around for Destiny, I would be $60 richer right now. I would have returned that thing in the first 2 hours, no doubt about it. But there's a lot of games where I'm willing to give it a try, and now with this, if I can easily get a refund, I wonder if it cuts you off. Clowns, were you thinking about that at all? Because
because there are going to be people that just take advantage of the situation, like buy an indie game, beat it within an hour, or at least get half the achievements within the hour, and then be like, "Oh, I'm done with this. So I'm just going to go for a refund."
Yeah.
So I think in time, maybe they'll test it right now, but in time, there may have to be a limit on it so that people don't abuse it, which is going to suck because people are going to abuse everything. And legitimately, there's like 3 games that I've purchased, like Pixel Piracy, which I definitely want a refund on, So, yeah, I'm just afraid to do more than one, like, every few months because I just don't want to be blacklisted from doing this.
Right. And that's
what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the fear. And some people will legitimately use this and do a lot of returns. Like 12 in a year, you think, oh wow, somebody's returning 12 games a year. That's kind of bullshit, right? But with how many indie games come out, like you just said, Clowns, like it's easy to do 12 a year. I mean, you heard Charla say multiple times at Gamescom specifically saying, I mean, not Gamescom, I'm sorry, during the ID at Xbox thing where they've talked about the new, I can't remember the name of it, but the new like ID at Xbox program where they were talking about how you can like produce games, make it easier, but you don't get achievements and multiplayer and all that stuff. The tier down, I gotta find the name of it, but he was talking about how there's 1,000, and he told us at PAX Clowns that 1,000 ID at Xbox games in the pipeline. So returning 12 a year or 24 a year isn't even out of the realm of possibility. So I hope they kind of you realize that, just like get it put on a list, but let me go to the chat because there's a couple things I wanna throw from the chat that I thought were pretty good. Middle-aged gamer in the YouTube chat says trade-in. We still need that. So we've got the refunds now, the trade-in, digital trade-in. So they asked about that in the surveys. Assassin, I think you probably know best. What did they ask in the survey about the trade-in thing? Oh, maybe you don't know best. But remember when they asked the survey question, they were like, "Oh, if you could get a percentage back or something for digital trade-ins, would you do it or something like that?" And I think it was like
Yeah.
10% or I can't remember if there's a number associated, but
I think it was between 10 to 20%.
right. So people still looking for that apparently. So middle-aged gamer, I'm with you on that, but I think this is nonetheless very good news. Sim in the YouTube chat says, you could always get a refund. It was never hard. It's just, get a support rep that'll do it for you, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But that works for some people and not others. So I wouldn't say that was necessarily the easiest thing. I was talking to a guy over in the Doug Discord, and he was telling me how he was having a little bit of trouble getting a refund on Shadow of Mordor. So
there is limits on that because actually, I've done that more than once where I've called in and I got refunded for major release games that were like retailing at 60. And from my premises, it was like one every year and a half. Otherwise, it was on your record and they would tell you no. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the basis of that. It was very limited.
Right. So apparently in the YouTube chat, Stickfigure has a couple things to say. I'll mention one thing really quick that we kind of were just talking about. He says it says in the terms and conditions that it will cut you off, that there's no limit necessarily, but, if you abuse it, then...
You have the right to take it away.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I mean, it makes perfect sense for them to do that. It's, they're doing this as a consumer-friendly thing. It will stop, so many calls into their chat support or online chat support, etc. So it's very customer-friendly, but at the same time, they're from a business perspective, they got to cover themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he also says, which is a good point. I never even really thought about it until I just saw this in the chat. So, awesome point, Stick. He says, do you get a warning when your 2 hours is nearly up? He doesn't think you do. And if you're in a great game, you get kind of engrossed in it. 2 hours will just fly by when you're playing some games. So, but
if it's a great game, then you don't necessarily return it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's a good point as well. But, it could be a game where, like, I feel like I may be excuse making, but just hear me out on this. A game where, there's a lot of dialogue, there's just a lot of things you got to see before making a decision. Like, Andromeda is a good example because there's just so much dialogue and so much backstory and stuff where you may just get to a point where you're just like, okay, this is just a little too much dialogue for me to handle. Like, if this is going to be the trend, then, forget about it. I just want to play my game. So it may be a great game that you're engrossed in, but, you may make that decision that you just don't want to spend 60 on a game that you're just going to have to spend a lot of time on and do a lot of listening. So,
yeah.
I don't know, but that's a good point, Taylor. Like, if it is a great game, if it's a great game, you return it, then you're either returning it because you need the money for something else, or you probably just shouldn't be returning it, right? Let me see really quick in the YouTube. So Xbot448 says now it's Nintendo and PlayStation's turn. So I did want to kind of get to this before getting off this topic. Do you guys think that those guys, PlayStation and Nintendo, Steam has been doing this for a while? So I think since 2015 we've gotten this on PC, but for Sony and Nintendo rather, are they put on blast, guys? What do you think?
I don't think Nintendo's going to do it. I mean, they're greedy.
Yeah, but do you think, even if they say they're too greedy to do it, do you think their rival putting out a system where you can do this so easily? I mean, they call it self-service refunds, so it's like you don't even have to contact support. You don't have to go through a lot of hoops. What do? You literally just like go to something and click that you want a refund, and boom, it's done, right? I mean,
yeah.
So do you think a rival? I mean, I want you to answer, Assassin, because you said that about Nintendo, and I think you're right that they are greedy. But you think that now people are seeing that another company is doing it, you think that they have to kind of respond in some way?
I think if Sony does it, they're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, I wonder what Sony's gonna do. Like, I find Sony's store so hard to purchase from, man. I don't like the cart and adding funds constantly. Why can't I just put my credit card in? You charge my credit card. Why does it have to add funds? I don't like that. So,
Nope.
I mean, I don't know. That could be unrelated from this, I will admit. But the take-home point is I don't think Sony's store infrastructure is as developed as Microsoft. So I don't know if they will be able to respond right away. Like, it kind of took them a long time. Remember when PlayStation 4 added that sidebar that kind of looked like the snapped quick guide thing from Xbox? It took them a long time to do that. Like, the writing was on the wall that was the way to go. And, Microsoft even improved it again with this latest update. You just press the guide button once and that pops up, but it used to be twice in succession. Now it's once. And Sony kind of stole that, but it took a long time to steal that, So I don't know. I don't know the engineering team at Sony. I don't know how strong they are. Obviously, they have a nice console on the PS4 Pro. I do like that console, but I don't know if their infrastructure can really do this at the flip of a switch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Taylor are clowns. Do you think Nintendo and Sony have to respond?
Eventually, they're gonna have to.
No, Nintendo doesn't care. They don't care. They'll keep
Nintendo won't, but Sony does.
Nintendo will just keep reselling you like reskin Mario Kart to tell you to suck it up. Sony, I don't think they will, because if you think about it right now, Sony is in double the amount of households compared to Xbox, right? So imagine if everybody starts refunding games on PlayStation, like how much money they would lose so quickly just because they're in more homes. So the amount of returns would probably overburden their system.
Yeah, I mean, look at games like, and I know this is going to kill Xbox. I think he's having a good time with it, him and his wife Mel. Look at No Man's Sky, right? If this were in effect for No Man's Sky, their store would have been crippled with returns for this thing.
Yep.
So,
or Order of 1886.
Order of 1886. Yep, that's right. Another one. And granted, on Xbox, there's some games that are complete flops as well. I'm not going to say that people wouldn't have been returning them like hotcakes, like Rise Son of Rome. Like, I think Rise is an awesome game. I really enjoy it, but a lot of people complain about the repetitiveness. That would have been a game that was returned a lot, I think. Same thing with like Scream Ride, for instance. That's another exclusive that I think would have gotten a lot of returns. And,
Recore?
Recore, yep. Recore is another one. As much as I enjoy Recore, and I love, what I played at E3, and I was really excited for it. Like, when the game came out, some aspects didn't feel fully fleshed out, so that would have gotten really returned a lot. So yeah, each company has games that they put out that are disappointments that would have gotten returned a lot. But Clowns, I think you make a good point. Like, say there were 30 million PlayStation 4 owners, and I know this is an exaggeration, but say like 10 million of them bought No Man's Sky, and then 7.5 million of them returned it. Like, that would have been disastrous. Especially because, they plan their next move on, for DLC, for supporting the game patches and whatnot on sales and how many people are playing the game. A lot of these companies. So if they're returning it, then like that fucks up their whole development schedule too. So yeah, any more about this? No DLC, no season pass, add-ons, no. When is this actually gonna go into effect? Because this was kind of you guys saw this on your Xbox, but I don't have the dash, so I don't the new dash or the preview stuff. So
I think preview members have it now.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we'll see. I don't know. You guys should try it, Assassin. You should just like buy Ghost. No, you have Ghost already digitally, no?
Yeah.
Buy Destiny 2 and then return it.
No.
I wonder if this works with 360 backwards compatible games too. Like Catherine's. Clowns just bought Catherine. That game's amazing.
Or Socks, whatever you.
Well, then there you go, Assassin. So you'd want to
I didn't buy
it.
it.
So
Clown should try it.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
it
it was $2.99.
Well, there you go.
It's not worth returning $2.99. But
Well,
pixel piracy, on the other hand, is definitely
for science.
No, pixel piracy is worth the return. Just don't play 2 hours like Game Assassin.
Wow, brutal. Maybe I'll try it. Well, I don't have the preview, so I can't. But who knows? I hope they maybe somebody in chat if you know when this is coming to everyone, definitely post it in there. But I didn't see any news about that when it's actually going live or anything. So, all right, next topic: Assassin's favorite news of the week, the thing that made him pitch a tent, the Battlefront 2 teaser trailer that has quote unquote in-game footage that is absolutely not in-game footage, that leaked, was so quickly removed people weren't able to see it, but then some sites grabbed it. So, on the internet things live forever, right? So yeah, that first trailer is leaked. They said stuff like fight multiplayer battles across all eras, so I'm guessing 1 through 8 is fair game on Battlefront, I'm guessing. You saw, look at the promotional stuff. You see Darth Maul, you see Kylo Ren, you see Rey. So those are all confirmed.
It's not Kylo Ren.
No, well, not on that, but in the trailer.
Oh, you were talking about the cover.
Assassin is Kylo Ren.
No.
What are you talking about?
Who is that on the cover? I don't know who that is.
That is the
CPCI Assassin.
No, clowns. No. That is not him. But continue, because that's good.
That would be cool. It's a TIE fighter pilot.
Oh, okay, so nobody important, essentially.
Well, it's probably going to be the main. If they're not doing a Battlefield 1 story, that's going to be the main, probably the main person you play as.
Yeah. Well, Kylo Ren was at the end of the trailer, right? Like, kind of towards the end of it.
Yeah.
So, Kylo Ren is definitely in it. Rey is definitely in it.
Nope.
Darth Maul, that battle with Darth Maul looks sick. I'm picking Darth Maul every single time.
Nope.
Without question. That's what sucks about the first movie, is that Darth Maul was such a badass, and the whole and the rest of the movie sucked.
Yep.
But yeah, and then you get to pre-order, I guess, the fine print. Assassin kind of scoped this out before I was able to see it. I'm glad you did, Assassin, because I didn't notice that it said pre-order for Star Wars The Last Jedi Heroes, whatever the hell that is.
It's episode 8.
I mean, it's episode 8.
Last Jedi is episode 8.
No, I know, but we don't know the heroes that are in it.
Oh, no, we don't know them, but who knows?
Anyway. Yeah, did you guys see this? You guys excited? This guy, does this make anybody, pitch a tent like it does Assassin? Anything? Anyone? Okay, Assassin, you
You're
go
asking
ahead.
the wrong person again.
You go ahead, Assassin. You tell me what you liked about this.
So I am super excited.
Wow.
Like super excited. I mean, you get to play as normal clone troopers, stormtroopers, first order troopers. They showed 6 planets. There's Yoda in there. There's a story that's after episode 6, supposedly. There's space battles. Just mine is just blown. Like, I'm so excited.
It just seems like, even from the get-go, there's just so much more to this. You know what I mean? Like, they're bragging about, they haven't shown much of, anything about the single player, obviously, but they're just bragging about a single player. They're bragging about across all eras in the multiplayer. So what does that mean? We're going to have, like, double the maps, I'm sure, as the last one, if not more?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this game's probably been in production probably 2-3 years across 9 movies that they're doing Rogue One. I'm kind of worried about content-wise, because there's so much content-wise that you have to put in. Like, you can't just do 2 maps of 7 and 8, 2 maps of 4, 5, and 6, and 2 maps of 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And usually games come out with about 10 maps, especially with Battlefield games.
Well, that's why I'm saying maybe, this time there'll be like 20. Or maybe they'll like bring back some of the maps in Battlefront 1 and let you play them with the new heroes. I think that'd be cool. That worked for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we might not even see the same maps. We might see the same planets. Obviously, with Hoth and Endor, we're in the trailer. So we might see different areas of those maps, planets.
Yeah. Clowns, what do you think? Did you watch the trailer at all? Or?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship for Battlefront. I'm excited for it, but I always get mad because they never show in-game footage.
What are you
I
talking
don't
about,
like.
Clouds? It's said in game, bro.
Remember the first one when they showed that? It was like
Yeah, but I mean,
it was in
Yeah.
engine. It turned out to be not in game. It was
Right,
very
right.
misleading, and I don't like that kind of crap. It
Yeah,
just
I hear you, man. I'm with you.
Assassin. Here's what's gonna happen, right? We're gonna get it, and I'm gonna say, oh, the best looking thing about this game is the snow. You're gonna be like, no, it's awesome. Then a week later, you're gonna be like, oh, this game sucks. And then when they take out Home and Rocket, you're gonna be like, oh, it's awesome again. And then you're gonna be like, it sucks. And then you're gonna get that DLC where you could do you fight in the TIE fighters and stuff, and you're gonna be like, oh man, this is so great. And after 2 hours of playing it, you're gonna be like, man, it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, yep, exactly.
Assassin, you agree
well, I
with
mean,
that?
it's almost like with you have that honeymoon phase. For instance, Dishonored 2.
Oh,
It's
Jesus,
so
here we go.
good, and then you're like, oh wait, I played this a lot. No, that this is wrong with it. This is wrong with it. That's wrong with it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And then new DLC comes out. I was like, oh my god, it's so awesome, and then it's terrible.
Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. I don't know. I think for Battlefront 2, they just have so much stuff that they could do that they're not gonna have that problem if they do it right. Because I mean, it's fucking 8 movies, right?
Yep.
Or 9 if they Rogue One. So, but who knows? We'll see. What's going on Saturday, Assassin again?
They keep on teasing the full longer trailer or whatever.
Whatever the hell that is. Yep.
I have a feeling we'll see some parts of the same thing we saw yesterday and today or whatever, but long.
Gotcha. So that's on Saturday at what time? Do you know?
It's early afternoon.
I'll have to
We're
look it up.
supposed to have like an hour panel of just games.
Nice. All right, and that's the Battlefront thing, because Taylor gives 2 shits about Battlefront, so we shall move on.
Exactly.
Shame.
Just something that should excite Taylor a lot, given her complaining about money all the time on the podcast. The spring sale is going on right now.
Yes.
On Xbox.
You guys see my tweet?
No. What did you say?
I'm getting Fallout, but
Yes.
I'm making myself finish the main storyline of Skyrim, and also Dragon Age.
See, I saw
I've
that.
yet to do that.
Yes, I saw that tweet. I didn't know it was related to the spring sale, but you're buying Fallout from this. Nice.
Yeah, because it's $24.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's some good deals in this. Don't let an Assassin or Clowns talk this down. This is a good sale. 400 plus items, including DLC, some microtransaction money, full games, collector's editions, digital collectors downloads, all that kind of stuff. Game preview games, even like Ark is it's 50 to 60% off depending on if you're gold or not. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk. If you were on the fence about Ark, 50 to 60% off. That's a good chunk. It's not like 10%. It's 50 to 60. So Fallout, you said, was how much?
It's $24.
Yeah, so that's like 67% off with the gold price. I mean, that's a good deal.
Oh.
Fallout is a deep game, so what else is in here? Like For Honor. I mean, that game is a very recent release. That game came out a couple months ago. Some people love it, some people hate it. But I mean, to have that game be 25% off digitally, I think that's a good deal at this point. Gears of War is 50% off. Anyway, I don't want to just go down the list. I want to get what you guys think is probably like the best or the worst deals that you saw.
You dare say Dishonored?
Oh, wait, speaking of which, Assassin, we gotta bring that up. Go ahead, dude.
I was just,
Oh, guys, I have to leave now.
No, no,
Just
no.
kidding. I have 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say Dark or not. Wow, I'm looking at
Dark Souls. Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm surprised Dark Souls 2 or 3 is not part of that. Like, those games are kind of old now.
Yeah, that's a
but,
good point. Yeah, I agree.
which are good games. You should pick them up. But other than that, I didn't really look at the sale because we own like probably 90% of the games. it seems like.
Assassin, you're a bad boy. This is podcast material. You need to be looking at the sale. All 400 titles. Bad
I
boy.
looked at about 20.
Are you buying anything other than Fallout, Taylor? Let's just say that.
I think I saw something else, but I don't remember what it was. I'll have to go back through.
Doom is 40%.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot.
There's just a lot.
It's a lot to digest. I wish they would kind of do a better job of exposing people to it, because I think it is a lot to digest. I mean, it is 400 titles. Like, that sounds awesome in theory, but then you throw us this huge list. Like, there's no way to, like, on the store to necessarily filter in a way that you'd want to do it. You know, I think they could improve that a little bit, especially when they have these huge sales that are awesome in theory. But I mean, I'm scrolling down this list, like, it takes like 20 to 25 scrolls of my scroll wheel to just like get through everything. And then you get stuff where it's like Elder Scrolls Online, then Gold Edition, then 1,500 crowns, and 3,000 crowns, and 5,500 crowns, and 750 crowns, and you know what I mean? It's just so much content for a single game as well, so it's kind of like hard to fish through all that. But yeah, I think the worst deal that I've seen on here, and it doesn't even have to deal with the fact that it's cheap, that it's, you know, even being sold, is Thief. Wasn't Thief?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't Thief Games of Gold?
It was free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 75% off. I wouldn't even buy that for 110% off, as in you have to pay me 10%. That game was awful.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that game, and
I mean, Dishonored 2 for $30. That's still kind of high.
That's an absolute steal. That's probably the best deal.
No, the game is not
Definitely
even
is the
doing
best
that.
deal.
Sales wise, I bet that game's a flop compared to the first one.
You're a flop.
I don't know. Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, 50% off. If you haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest, you must. That's definitely in the top 5 indies I've ever played on any system. What else?
Halo Wars 2,
Oh, Halo Wars 2 is in there, yeah.
39.
It's $39.99.
Yep.
Something like
No,
that.
$38.99.
$38.99. Pretty good. Forza Horizon 3, 50% off. That's pretty good. Oldie but goodie. Sim says in the YouTube chat, also Witcher 3 Complete Edition for 50% off. If you haven't played Witcher 3, this is a good time to do so, I would say. And, you know, it's very possible that games like The Witcher are going to get Scorpio upgrades. So you're buying these games for now and for later, you know. So you got to consider that as well. You know, Blood and Wine, Hearts of Stone, like all the expansion stuff is on sale for Witcher. Sunset Overdrive Deluxe Edition for $16.50. Now that was a free game as well, but if you haven't, if you did, you know, weren't an Xbox gamer at that point in time, or you didn't have gold and you want to grab that, I would say do it. Siege is 50% off. Assassin.
It's a good deal.
That's definitely a good deal. Titanfall 2 is 50% off. So I put in here best or worst deals, and I don't I don't know if there are any like really bad deals in this. Like sometimes we get discounts that's like 10%. You're like, like why even bother? But or you expect like stuff to be cheaper, you know, when they do the holiday deals, and it's not, you know, quite in line with stuff that's on Black Friday and whatever. So what else? Let me see. Rise season pass is $7. Is that worth it? Assassin, you have the season pass?
I don't think so, but it's all multiplayer stuff, so.
Well, the game just went free, so there may be some people playing it now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's a pretty good deal. There's something for everyone, I would say. The Dead Island Definitive Collection, may grab that. 60% off.
How much does that come down to?
I don't know. I got to look it up. I don't have the percentages, but the Definitive Edition itself is 50% off. The Definitive Collection is 60% off.
Collection 16. The games are 10.
The Collection's 16. I'm most
Yeah.
definitely buying that. I loved Dead Island 1. Love. When is when is the next Dead Island coming out?
I don't know.
They showed that off a couple years ago. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, that's the spring sale. I mean, how could I forget? Black Ops 2 is $20. Is that still worth it, guys? I mean,
I mean, if you haven't played it and you have friends play, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not the best, but it's not bad. It plays well.
yeah. Speaking of which, Black Ops 2 backwards compatible.
Yay.
No one cares. I feel like no one cares about this. Like
No,
everyone's
everybody does.
Yeah, that's
Did
the
you see
thing.
Twitter blew up with that? I mean, it was going nuts. Everybody's like, Black Ops 2, backwards compatible, must go buy. Yeah, I mean, everybody was all over the place with it.
And then the Xbox Twitters are like, rip, bring Black Ops 2 backwards compatible.
I did not see that at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
I missed that. But yeah, I mean, 129,000 people back on that.
133 according to Windows Central.
Oh, excuse me, 133 from our friends over at Windows Central. So, yeah, obviously people are excited. It's taking a long time. I mean, this was one of the most requested games on the survey thing that they gauge the backwards compatibility stuff on Xbox's website. But none of us are playing it, right?
No, I've been addicted to other things.
See, Sim says Digital Foundry did an analysis. It runs better on Xbox One. I couldn't find that at all, Sim. And Assassin said that yesterday, too.
They posted something today.
Oh, they posted something today. Okay. So it runs better on Xbox One. Man, I don't want to grab that, but I kind of do. Just to see if it's as good. I may rent it from the library.
I played a little of the zombies solo, and it felt really smooth.
I highly recommend that you take your monies, and if you're thinking about buying like 3 or 4 games, just buy Ghost Recon Wildlands.
No, don't. And check your Twitter DMs, by the way. I sent the tweet.
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah, Rip, where's the Black Ops 2 tweets from 2015 to 2017? Yeah, this has been, 2 years. Ever since they announced the backwards compatibility a couple years ago, people were like, oh, Black Ops 2, oh, Red Dead. Those two.
Yep.
And now Black Ops 2 is there. Modern Warfare 2 they wanted. That hasn't happened yet, but yeah, it's back. Finally. So get on that shit if you have it. Zombies, right? Taylor, you have to bounce?
Yep, gotta go.
Taylor, feel better?
I feel fine. I'm just going to physical therapy, dude.
Well, I don't know. You said sciatica was a bitch, so.
I mean, it is, but you gotta deal with that every day. I'm not dying.
Don't die. You know when they have like those dogs that will like come up and sniff you if you're dying, like in the hospitals?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Stay
Get
up.
100 of those.
I was just gonna
Just
say.
stay away from dogs in general.
I was just gonna say stay away from those. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't let my dog smell me for that reason.
For that reason. Oh my god.
Alright.
All right.
Bye,
Taylor.
guys.
See you later.
Fine.
All right, we only have one more topic, so we got through a bunch while she was still here. But, yeah, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, guys, finally dated and priced.
So, let me ask you this before we get into this topic. Is this a full game, or is this just like a small standalone DLC, like an hour's worth or something?
Well, that's the thing. So
I heard rumors or something across Twitter. I mean, it could be fake. It was over like 10 hours.
yes, so that is as I'm adjusting things on the fly. Don't mind me. That is the rumor is that it is 10 hours long plus. So in the discussion, I guess Naughty Dog people, what's his name?
Neil Druckmann?
Man. No, Arnie. Damn it, Arnie Meyer, something like that. Arnie something. He's one of the heads of communications. He was talking about it like it's a full-fledged game, and so people have been, I guess, speculating that it is a full-fledged game. It's a full-fledged experience, so $40 isn't really that crazy. And apparently Naughty Dog has been on record saying that they find it impossible to make a game that is DLC, that it's going to have to be a full-fledged experience. When they were asked about whether or not they can make some standalone DLC for Uncharted games, they were like, well, how could we resist, making another full game?
Well, let me ask you this then. I saw on Cheap As Gamer they posted a deal where you can get it for like $23 or something.
No.
Is that yeah?
Wasn't that with the Amazon or some shit?
No.
Amazon
or
pulled
Gamers
theirs.
Club.
Yeah, Amazon pulled theirs, but Best Buy Gamers Club did not. And you can get the Steelbook edition for $23.99 plus tax.
No way. I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at that right
And you
now.
pre-order, you get Jak and Daxter for free.
Yeah, I sent you the tweet like
I must have
2
missed it,
days
dude.
ago?
I must have missed it. Uncharted Lost Legacy, right? Lost Legacy. Yeah, let's get to the YouTube chat about this. Middle-aged Gamer says really excited for it. He said heard 10 hours as well, and he just said in the chat what Assassin just said as well. You get the Jak and Daxter Precursor Trilogy for PS4 if you pre-order. So not only are you getting a game that is supposedly 10 hours plus of the quality of Uncharted from developers like Naughty Dog that are very, very successful and have an extremely good reputation for good reason, but you're getting a trilogy of games that are very much like Ratchet and Clank that was very well received, and who knows if those are going to be getting if those are the remaster treatment, if those are just like up-resed. But either way,
they're up-res probably.
yeah, I would say. But either way, like, I'm game for that. I think one of the questions I wanted to ask was, are a lot of people going to pre-order this just for that, or are people not interested in that? Like, does this incentivize essentially people to pre-order? You think if they're going to get Jak and Daxter, a trilogy of games that were very well received back in the day, and are very much like Ratchet and Clank, is it gonna make people want to pre-order? What do you guys think?
Well, a lot of people probably, but maybe I read this wrong, but doesn't people who buy Uncharted 4, the deluxe edition or whatever, don't they get it for free?
See, now that's the thing too, because they said that all the subsequent stuff was going to be free, but did they mean just the multiplayer stuff, like the add-on stuff to Uncharted 4, and this is a standalone, so they don't get that? I don't know if they've clarified on that, but I remember people questioning it back when this thing was announced, back when they showed this off for the first time, that there was going to be this Lost Legacy thing, and people were instantly questioning Naughty Dog, being like, "Oh well, I have the deluxe edition, I have the season pass. Am I getting this thing for free?" And I don't think they've really addressed that.
I'm gonna look, see what I can find.
I sent you the tweet, and it's out of stock now.
God damn it! God damn it! It says retails for $30.99, but if you bought the season pass, it was $24.99. Naughty Dog pulled the pass, but Best Buy never did. So let me see this. Okay. Uncharted 4 Thief's End triple pack. So that was an add-on that you could buy that would give you the DLC that's currently out, and then this thing. So wow, that was a steal then. No wonder why they pulled it. Daz says, bring back old school, buy a game, and that's it in an ideal world. So, I mean, there'd be no questions if that were the case, right? About this? They would, that would be it. You buy the game, you get the game. But now there's just so much DLC coming out. Like this, Uncharted has a whole DLC release schedule that they kind of like posted, very far in advance. And I don't remember this being on there, so I don't think this is included in the regular season passes. Assassin, did you find anything about it?
Well, I'm reading it from the PlayStation.com, their blog thing.
Yeah.
And all I'm seeing right now is owners of, I think you said, I wasn't really listening. Sorry. Uncharted 4, Thieves End Digital Deluxe, Thieves End Triple Pack, or Thieves End Explorers Pack will see the game for free.
Wow. I can't believe that. I can't believe they're going to charge $40 then for a DLC that they're giving away for free with the season pass of the deluxe.
Yeah.
That's I'm actually like upset about that, to be honest with you. Cuz you're going to charge $40 separately for something that people got with the season pass that was not $40. I mean, I don't even think it was $40.
Time to riot in the streets.
No, but that's bullshit. Like, people, who didn't buy the season pass, you gotta punish them that bad? You know what I mean? Like, I understand you probably weren't necessarily planning this to be a DLC thing, but now that you've announced it as a DLC and you have to include it in the season pass, but at the same time, like, how much was the season pass for Uncharted? It couldn't have been $40. It couldn't have been $50. Season pass, Uncharted 4. Like, how much was that? Season pass including... Oh, wow. So apparently back in December, they had removed it from the season pass and charged more money for it. So if you got the deluxe edition of the Explorers Pack, you get it. Download and launch. Both versions will be available until December 13th. Wow. Unbelievable. So back in December, apparently, is when they pulled those editions. Like, are you kidding me? What? That's shameful. That's straight up shameful. And clearly they know it because like they just wanted to slip this under the rug. They're like, okay, we're just gonna remove this now. And now, of course, like they're releasing more information about it, and those versions aren't available. Unbelievable. I was gonna say that $40 is worth it, but if you're gonna get it for free with the season pass, then.
So is it too late to buy the season pass then and get it now? Is that what I?
Yeah, December 13th was the cutoff. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and then the triple pack on Amazon, too, is out of stock. Wow. Unbelievable. How much... I would love to see how much they were actually selling it for, like, full retail, without any discounts. But that's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Daz, UK Desirous, in the YouTube chat says, basically it's a business that rips us off. We only buy half a game, which is the main thing that pisses me off. They spend the same to get the full game. Well, more than the same for some games like Destiny. If you're full in on Destiny and you didn't buy like the Taken King collection or the complete edition or whatever it is, I mean, how much were you in on that? Like $200?
Wow, they really suckered you with Destiny, huh?
Yeah.
They suckered a lot of people in with that. Oh, hey, buy this. Buy the deluxe edition when it launches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't get like half the DLC. Then you get the Tekken King. Oh, now you need Rise of Iron. Oh my God, what's next? Oh, emotes that don't carry over. Let's buy a ton of those.
Yep. And I can't help but think, now that I heard this thing about the season pass and they pulled it, I did not know that. Because now that I saw that, I'm thinking that Naughty Dog is playing the same bullshit. I gotta be honest with you. Like $40 for a DLC that you gave for free with the season pass that you pulled, before the beginning of this year. Like, you knew something was wrong if you pulled that. Like, why would you pull that if you knew? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, anyway, it's coming on August 22nd, which is actually a good time, I think, for it to launch. But I mean, if the digital version were $30 and the physical version were $40, I would probably be more accepting of that than them charging $40 for both and giving it to people for free if they bought the DLC, if they bought the season pass back in December. Like, that's, I don't know. Anyway, any more to say about this before we wrap this up? Sassy, you don't even have a PlayStation, so don't be salty.
No, I miss that.
Don't be salty, yeah.
He misses it. Oh, that's so sad.
That is sad.
You should put a lost puppy ad up about it.
You should. Have you been in preparation, in hope for getting a PlayStation 4 again? Have you been going on the PlayStation Store every month and getting the free game? Oh no, because you don't have PS Plus.
I don't have PS Plus.
Oh wow, that sucks. Oh man. All right. Well, other than that, that's gonna do it for tonight's episode. Thank you, everyone, for coming to watch. We had quite a few people in the chat tonight, so thanks for coming out, giving some great opinions in the chat. Awesome Scorpio talk tonight. Thank you again. Remember, check out those affiliates that are down below in the description of the video. Remember, you don't have to buy what comes up there. Just buy something. You don't have to pay anymore, and it helps us out a good amount. So please go check those out. Yeah, follow us on all the things, right? Twitter, 4GwQPodcast. Make sure you're following us on there to get, updates on, reviews that we've been putting up. We're going to have ukulele review is going to be up very, very soon. I thought I was going to get it up today, but maybe late in the evening tonight that I get that up. We just got up a Snake Pass review. Clowns just wrote an article about thanking Xbox for the refund thing, so go check that out. We're going to have a lot more stuff coming on the website, so 4GwQPodcast.com. Make sure you have that, bookmarked, if you will. Yeah, sub to our YouTube channel, 4GwQPodcast.com. That's where the podcast is going to be. Next week, we're going to do multi-stream again, so we'll be back on Twitch and Beam. Just search for 4GwQPodcast. You'll find us, and follow us on those platforms if you would. And yeah, Facebook. Should you even like us on Facebook? Because Assassin's not even over there, engaging our fans. He doesn't want to go over there and engage the community. He just wants to pretend like he does. So, Assassin, you gonna check all those messages soon, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, when I'm not this close to falling asleep.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll send you a reminder, text. I'll program my phone to send you a text every single day to remind you to go check those messages. So, but yeah, 4GwQPodcast on Facebook. If you want to like us, go ahead. But I don't know, Assassin doesn't care about Facebook. And you know what? Facebook's kind of dying. I don't even like Facebook.
Yeah.
I rarely go on Facebook unless I'm chatting. Like my brother got rid of his Facebook. My brother Dan, the Jizzle, gone. So,
but then we need to find something for Assassin to do. We need to give him an official job. So if he doesn't do Facebook, I mean, should we take a poll? Should Assassin write an article every week or something?
I think you should write an article every single day, 2 paragraphs, just being like, woke up today, my gaming schedule looks like this, and yeah, my disk drive doesn't work anymore, or some shit like that. Anything, but
yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense because I am extremely sleepy.
You're a scrub.
Just ask Clowns. He's given me his narcolepsy.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Listen to this kid.
Wow! As if you can just give it, as if it's a cold. I gave him my narcolepsy. You know what I mean?
I am more awake than this guy. I'll tell you that.
No kidding. No kidding. But yeah, follow us on all the things. Just search 4GwQPodcast. You'll find us on every damn thing. And we are now an open critic as well. So
yes.
Hopefully soon, probably by this weekend, we'll have adjustments made to all of our Twitter stuff and all that kind of stuff, so that we're advertising that we're on Open Critic. So remember, guys, go to Open Critic, not necessarily Metacritic for your for accuracy and reviews, because as Open Critic, as the name suggests, Open Critic is much more open. So it's I think it's a better combination of reviews than Metacritic. I mean, sometimes they fall in line, so I do look at Metacritic, but I've been looking at OpenCritic now for the past month or so, and I think OpenCritic is definitely a better indication of what games are like. So definitely go on there. We'll be contributing our reviews to that site. So, and for that, we thank you, and we're out. Peace out.
One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
On OpenCritic, add us to your trusted reviews, so that way we'll show up in actual critics for you. Until we get 10 reviews or 15 reviews up and 40,000 followers or whatever, we can't be official media on there. We're just contributors. But definitely add us to your trusted reviews, and we'll show up with your critic scores.
Yes, please do that. Because if you don't have an account on there, you should sign up, because it really is a great site. It's so much better than Metacritic. It looks better. It feels better. It just feels more community based than Metacritic, which is just here's what we decide. This is green. This is red, and anything between sucks. Like Metacritic is so harsh lately. I just don't. It's not like appealing anymore. It's like the difference between Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb or something like that. But yeah. All right. Anyway, we're out. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Later. That's a nice haircut.
Thanks.